Welcome to this week's issue of Print21. My name is Wayne Robinson, editor of the magazine. This is the weekly TV video news bulletin for the print industry. This week we're outside a suburban shopping centre newsagent. One of the big stories of the week is to do with binding, as we have magazines and books. As we know, Sydney Binders closed its doors 10 days ago. Well, now as a new trade binding house has started up in Sydney, 2020 Binding. That's a company that is started by John Bright, Debbie Burgess of Bright Print Group. They've bought one of the Muller Martini Acoro Perfect Binding lines from Sydney Binding. It's currently in Rockdale, but they will be moving it to their premises in Wetherall Park, Bright Print Group. And the business 2020 Binding is now open for business and is already taking work. Debbie Burgess told me they made the move because they were a major customer of Sydney Binding, and faced with their long-run work going down to Melbourne, they took the decision they wanted to start a trade binding house. Of course, Bright Print Group is a commercial printer, but Debbie Burgess said to me that they are people of integrity, they're third-generation printers. The 2020 Binding will be housed in a completely separate part of the premises. Account managers won't be able to go there. And as one local printer said to me yesterday, you can trust John and Debbie with your kids. There'll be no issues there. So good luck to everyone in that venture. Several other perfect binding houses, trade houses, have been in touch with me. Rodney Frost at Lamps and Paragon, or Checkmates. They've got a Horizon EVA machine there for short to medium run work. Wayne Rubin at Twin Loops, just moving to new premises in Belmore, new bigger premises. They also have short run perfect binding. And then John Laidlaw has special binding services up in Brisbane. 2 heavy-duty Colbus lines there, 12,000, 7,000 jobs an hour, able to go through those. So plenty of options now for printers who are looking to get their magazines, books perfect bound. Also in the news this week is Sureprint. There's the Sydney trade printer that is now in liquidation. You may remember this is a company that was started by Amrit, Amy Chandra, 8 to 9 years ago. She was the sister-in-law of Bauer Data, who owned Media Options when it went down, owing $3.3 million in debts. Other associated companies included Sydney Print Hub, Sydney Trade Print. Well, Sureprint is now in liquidation. Aston Chase Group is a liquidator. Bauer Data, we understand, is running a print company under a different name in southwest Sydney. In the news this week is the media itself. The news media itself is in the news. Bauer Media, biggest magazine publisher in the country, now with 55% of the market since this $40 million deal for Pacific Magazines. Bauer is up for sale, we understand. Bauer paid James Packer, they paid $525 million 8 years ago. Now apparently they'll be looking to get a third of that. Private equity is looking to make a move on that business. Bauer looking to exit. It closed down its business in New Zealand completely with the level 4 restrictions that came in there. News Corp, Bauer, just to say, Bauer's magazines are printed by Ovato. Pacific Magazines, which Bauer just bought, are printed by Ive. Plenty of those magazines are now migrating to online only. News Corp's deal with ACM for its regional publishing, regional newspaper and community newspapers is off. News Corp was trying to offload those to ACM, which is owned by Anthony Castellano. He bought it from Nine last year, Nine being Fairfax. That deal's off. News Corp now looking at restructuring its community and regional papers. Like ACM, many of its community and regional newspapers are currently suspended from printing until the virus ends. News Corp is though pushing ahead with a new greenfield print site for its Metro titles in Melbourne. Finally this week, to end on a great news story, Mark Singh Shergill, CEO of Focus Print Group, is taking his mind off the trials and tribulations of the print industry that we're going through at the moment by boxing. He took up boxing last year again, and he's just won the Australian Masters over 50s boxing championship up in a title fight up in Caloundra there. Congratulations, Mark. Great news. That's one way to keep everything that's going on off your mind and to re-energise yourself. Stay safe, stay well. This is Wayne Robinson, Print21, signing off for another week.